I think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all agree on that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out. She does not want to be the first lady anymore.
They agree with you.
She doesn't want to be the first lady. She destroyed the Rose Garden. Who hates Christmas? Melania Trump hates Christmas. She doesn't want to decorate for Christmas. She doesn't want to have anything to do with him. She doesn't want to sleep in the same room with him. She can't tolerate him.
Allegedly.
And she does.
Yeah, how do you know all this?
What she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out.
Though, I mean, The View has to be, you know, if you average out The View hosts, among the dumbest people on television.
It's hilarious.
Rogan leaned back with a slight grin as the audience erupted, and Sunny Hostin, already caught in the middle of controversy, suddenly found herself facing even more pressure. But the real shock came outside the studio. Melania Trump had reportedly taken legal action against The View with a $100 million lawsuit. This was bigger than just another media headline. It sent a serious message to the entire television world. When a first lady takes a fight into the courtroom, comments made on daytime TV can suddenly carry much bigger consequences. Every joke, every accusation, and every sarcastic remark can end up under a legal microscope. So buckle up, because this story is far from over. What you're about to hear is based on the broadcasts and claims surrounding the controversy. Sunny's comments may have started the fire, but the battle that followed could be much bigger than anyone expected.
Let me go to my legal notes.
Yeah, please.
Trump has denied ever having an with Stormy Daniels.
That's the only part?
You can't have a felon, a liar, a serial. You know, he had Melania next to him, his third wife, who he with Stormy Daniels on while she was pregnant. I think he stands against everything and flies in the face of everything that a Catholic believes and holds dear. He is not a faithful man. Trump has denied ever having an affair with Stormy Daniels.
Oh, that again?
Newsroom screens kept replaying the same clip. The women on The View were laughing and trading comments that sounded less like harmless jokes and more like personal attacks. Melania had heard criticism before, but this time the comments went much further. One host portrayed her as someone stuck in a marriage she couldn't stand, even suggesting she might want her husband gone while millions were watching. Some people brushed it off as daytime TV banter, but for Melania, the remarks reportedly crossed a much more personal line, turning political commentary into something that felt like a direct attack on her dignity.
Now you know who has been bragging all over the campaign trail about how he's the one that overturned Roe v. Wade. But apparently, his wife has different thoughts on the reproductive rights after posting this video plugging her memoir. Oh. Take a look.
Individual freedom is a fundamental principle that I safeguard. Without a doubt, there is no room for compromise when it comes to this essential right that all women possess from birth, individual freedom. What does my body, my choice really mean?
You know, she'll talk him into. The only problem is she doesn't talk to him.
A clip started playing, and this time it was Melania's own voice, calm, steady, and deliberate. For a moment, the studio seemed to take her words seriously. Then the laughter broke out, cutting through the moment and changing the entire tone of the conversation. And it didn't stop with Sunny. The laughter quickly spread around the table, turning the exchange into something much bigger than a simple TV discussion. That may have been the moment the fuse was lit. What began as a few minutes of daytime commentary was now being framed as the beginning of a $100 million legal battle. So stay with us, hit subscribe, and let's take a closer look at how this controversy unfolded.
Joy interviewed Melania on her show in 2011. She backed her husband's birther claims.
That's right.
That was on your show.
That was on her show. Right. She questioned Barack Obama's citizenship.
A show that they took away from me. Go ahead.
But Joy's over it. It's fine.
But I'm not bitter.
You were fired.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, she did that even though she wasn't originally a citizen of this country. She came up with the defense of the locker room talk. Remember that?
Yeah.
She infamously wore that coat. Who cares? And she even said,
I think that was homage to Joy. So what? Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? Well, say, I really don't care.
version of that.
Yeah, I really don't care, do you? And then she said, who gives a blank about Christmas stuff and decoration?
Picture the scene. A polished New York studio. Coffee cups on the table, and suddenly the conversation sounded more like a courtroom interrogation. Sonny ran through a list of past controversies, birther claims, locker room comments, the infamous coat slogan, and even the Christmas tree dispute. Each point landed with another joke from Whoopi or laughter from Joy, almost like they were passing judgment from a jury nobody had elected. What started as daytime discussion quickly took on a much more serious and confrontational tone.
She's got this book, right? Which is her memoirs. She says she's telling her side of the story. It's like a coffee table book.
Yeah. So what? Look, I agree with you in a way. It's like I would like to do. I'm making an announcement. I'm doing some for the blind.
I was going to say that one of the problems with this whole thing is that when she was the first lady, you could only refer to her as a former model. You could not mention the photos. If you mentioned the photos, you were canceled. And by the way, these aren't just photos. These are erotic photos.
But I agree
this
on
is the same thing that took down Vanessa
I agree on the
Williams,
hypocrisy,
okay?
but do...
And that...
Then Anna brushed off Melania's memoir with a dismissive smile, while Joy's offhand joke about the blind sent the studio into laughter. For viewers, it may have looked like ordinary daytime entertainment, but from Melania's perspective, the repeated comments could feel like another layer being added to an already personal attack, slowly chipping away at her public image. Then Sonny took things even further by bringing old photographs back into the conversation. Suddenly, the whole exchange felt less like casual TV banter and more like a preview of a much bigger confrontation, one where every comment could be replayed, examined, and potentially challenged.
I said to my husband that, the language is inappropriate. It's not acceptable. And I was surprised because that is not the man that I know. In one way, it's hard because press, it's very dishonest, and it's a lot of lies that they've written also about me as my husband. And you need to defend yourself all the time. As you may heard, I filed a few lawsuits, and I'm in the court now because they accuse me of doing stuff that I never did in my life, and they wrote lies. And I will not allow that. I will fight till the end because I don't want that they damage my reputation and my name.
By midday, a decision had taken shape inside a Manhattan law office. A thick folder hit the desk with a heavy thud, written across the cover, $100 million. No press conference, no dramatic announcement, just legal papers ready to turn casual TV remarks into a courtroom battle. And somewhere across town, Joe Rogan watched the story unfold with a knowing smirk. To him, this wasn't simply another media controversy. It was the moment daytime television finally crashed headfirst into the real world.
It is the show that people love to hate.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
They get so much hate watching and hate watching viral clips of them saying ridiculous things. I mean, it is a rabies-infested hen house. The real fans of The View that are like, oh, these ladies are on point. Most of those people can't leave the house. I think the problem with that show is that show has this very specific ideological bubble in which they operate in. And they always bring on a token conservative woman and they yell over her and silence her.
The lights in Rogan's studio burned bright as an old clip appeared on the monitor. There was Trump years earlier, walking onto the View stage to hugs, smiles, and a chorus of our friend Donald Trump. The audience erupted like a rock star had just arrived, while the host leaned closer, soaking in the celebrity moment.
One of the things I wanted to talk to you about, I wanted to play this, but we decided we shouldn't play it. We don't want anybody to have any sort of way to get it down. The episode of you when you were on The View, when you were running for president.
Right.
Donald Trump is a billionaire, a real estate mogul, and a television star. But does he really want to add President of the United States to his resume? A lot of people would like him to.
You got introduced as our friend Donald Trump.
Please let's find out, and please welcome my friend, Donald Trump.
That's right.
Whoopi Goldberg gives you a big hug and a kiss. Joy Behar gives you a big hug. Barbara Walters gives you a big hug. They all loved you.
We're so happy to have you. Whenever you're on with us, we're very happy. We love it.
They're talking about you in such a favorable light. The audience was cheering, and then you actually started winning in the polls, and then the machine started working towards you.
Joe Biden knows how to do this. Trump.
Yeah.
He tends to just...
But can I mention?
He pointed out what many people had noticed but rarely said out loud. The View had completely changed its tune. The same people who once welcomed Trump with hugs and compliments had, after the political winds shifted, started portraying both Trump and Melania as the villains. Rogan leaned back, his voice calm but cutting. It's hilarious. Just 2 words, but they carried more than a joke. They highlighted what he saw as blatant hypocrisy. For his audience, the contrast was impossible to miss. It didn't look subtle or accidental. It looked like theater.
Allegedly, he was while Melania was pregnant.
That was all.
That's not going to come in front of the jury, though. The judge has ruled that won't come up.
We're in television now. And then after Melania gave birth to the baby, he found Stormy to strip around with, right?
Yes.
It's like people should look at him and say, you know, what kind of an insecure jerk are you? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, my wife's pregnant. I'm not attracted to her big belly or something. And now she's paying attention to the baby and not me.
She's ideologically driven, and they have blinders on, for sure. I don't think Sonny's dumb. But Whoopi is certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out. It's like if you had an idea for a premise and it was totally baked and half baked, and you went on stage with it, and it's nothing.
Just
there.
go for it.
The studio suddenly felt tense and quiet. Rogan tapped the desk as Joy's remark about Trump's alleged played across the monitor. He leaned forward, wearing a look that mixed disbelief with amusement. A few crew members laughed nervously, but Rogan didn't rush to respond. He let the silence hang for a moment, making the pause feel almost more powerful than the words themselves.
Joy Behar was trying to say that I believe in dragons.
We went from Walter Cronkite, basically, to this guy, Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons.
I checked it.
He believes
in dragons.
The lady goes, did you double check it? She goes, I checked it. He believes in dragons.
believes in dragons.
Did you triple source that?
Yes, I did.
This is the most important part. This was right after she was saying, we are run by ABC News. You should trust us, not Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons.
That's why people like our show, because they know that we are checked by ABC News.
By saying we should trust them because they're double checked by ABC News, and then making the stupidest statement.
And he also thinks that dragons, like dinosaur-y type of animals, roamed the earth when people did.
You didn't listen to what I said.
Finally, Rogan delivered the line that echoed beyond the studio. He joked that if you average the IQ of the View hosts, you might still struggle to reach triple digits. The audience laughed, but Rogan simply shook his head. To him, this wasn't about one bad joke. It was about the bigger picture. A show that once welcomed Trump with hugs and applause now portrayed him and Melania as villains. Rogan saw the sudden shift as politics, not principle. A performance dressed up as truth.
Republicans needed to work to be more supportive of women as pro-family, which they are, he said, and they needed to make that case
and earn her
clear.
trust.
And earn trust, and he said that.
That was a nice moment in the debate. We're going to talking about it, but I do think that women don't Donald Trump because he says one thing and does another. Like he said.
So let me ask you this, because I do want to get back to this point with the left and Melania Trump. Why can't she just be her own woman and have separate?
And she can.
And so why all that criticism? I mean, that was gross from The View.
And I
look,
agree.
The View is not the litmus test of America. We don't think that.
They were afraid of that remark.
It wasn't just Rogan calling out the theaters. Over on Fox, the discussion shifted toward boundaries. Harris Faulkner raised her eyebrows and asked the question directly, why can't Melania have her own opinion? Why so much criticism around the table? No one had to say the answer out loud. The message seemed clear. Melania had become part of a much bigger culture war.
That the first lady, former first lady, the second gentleman, the kids, they should be off limits. Let the candidates fight for themselves.
No, but she put herself in. She's got a So why can't she just have her opinion?
Saying that she
Is it because women on the left, at least these women on the left who are very vocal about, being the only ones on the topic that really know what's going on, they are not accepting of all women.
No, but I think they're frustrated, like a lot of women across America, when more than 1/3 of women don't have reproductive.
And that's where the irony comes in. The same free speech protections that allow The View to speak freely also give Melania the right to challenge what she believes crossed the line. Her $100 million lawsuit isn't only about defending her reputation. It could raise bigger questions about where talk shows, newsrooms, and comedians draw the line between opinion and defamation. Imagine every joke or sarcastic comment being judged, not just for entertainment, but for its potential legal consequences. Some may see that as accountability, others may see it as censorship. Either way, the case raises one major question: how far is too far when the cameras are on?
I'm reluctant to comment on other people's marriages because I don't want anybody to comment on mine. But they've been married 19 years. And in my experience, people that have been married that long are not necessarily polar opposites, right?
Outside the studio, America seems split into two camps. Supporters praised Melania Trump for fighting back. Even Sunny Hostin admitted on air that after nearly 2 decades of marriage, couples aren't always as divided as people assume. To her supporters, the lawsuit was about dignity and drawing a line after years of public jokes. Critics saw it differently. They accused Melania of using the lawsuit to boost her image, turning courtroom filings into headline-making publicity. For them, it wasn't justice, it was a media strategy.
It's a bizarre show.
So we had 8 minutes, and America's approach to race, pretty big topic, pretty important topic.
I think the way you, before you start, I think the way you described it is brilliant, and the way we should all look at it. Of course, you're going to see race. The idea of being colorblind is ridiculous, but treat everybody. They're just human beings.
Yeah.
Everybody's just individuals.
That's right.
That's what we should all hope for. And then there's some people who are good intentioned, but have a very narrow perspective and a very limited amount of information that they're operating under, that will try to pretend that these things are overall good, are net positive.
Right. And Sunny Hostin may be one of those people.
Rogan called the whole situation a bizarre spectacle. He defended the idea of judging people as individuals, but warned about those who know only part of the story and mistake limited opinions for the full truth. That, he suggested, was the real danger, when shallow takes sound like wisdom and laughter hides a lack of perspective. And one bigger question remained: if Melania wins, will talk shows and late-night comedians become more careful? Could the case protect reputations or make free speech feel too risky?
That the first lady, former first lady, the second gentleman, the kids, they should be off limits. Let the candidates fight for themselves.
No, but she put herself in. She's got a so why can't she just have her opinion?
Saying that she hates
Is it because women on the left, at least these women on the left who are very vocal about, being the only ones on the topic that really know what's going on, they are not accepting of all women?
No, but I think they're frustrated, like a lot of women across America, when more than 1/3 of women don't have reproductive.
What started with the talk show comment has grown into a $100 million legal battle, unfolding like a drama nobody planned. Sunny's remarks may have sparked the controversy. Melania took the fight to court, while Rogan turned the spotlight back on The View with some of his sharpest criticism yet. And along the way, every laugh, reaction, and side comment became more than entertainment. It became part of a much bigger national debate.
She needs the money because he's broke. So she wants to make the money. Now her memoir is all buzzy. Now we're all talking about it. Maybe now she's not as bad as she is. I think that she wants to take him out, and she's doing a pretty damn good job.
I don't totally disagree.
The only reason I disagree there is if Donald, we forget this, if Donald Trump loses, he likely goes to. We actually try the January 6th case. We actually try the documents case. I'm not convinced Melania Trump wants to see the father of her children in. I think she realizes.
Even sleep with him. She doesn't talk.
I honestly don't know anything about their personal relationship.
At its core, this isn't just about Melania or The View. It's about the line between free speech and reputation, commentary and personal attack. Some see accountability while others see overreach. Either way, the divide between media, politics, and entertainment has never been thinner. This video uses commentary based on publicly available broadcasts and media coverage. All references come from public sources. So what do you think? Was Melania defending her dignity, or was this just another chapter in America's political media drama? Drop your thoughts below and subscribe for the next update.